Hey, welcome back, everyone. Finally back on a Sunday. I think the last one we did was a Tuesday, and I don't even know when the last one we did was before that.
I'm not even sure what day of the week it is.
Yeah, we haven't had many the last few months, but we're going to try and get back into a rhythm. Thanks for joining us, boys. We got Christian on again for the second time. Christian's actually joined us as a semi-regular as well. So,
yep.
We catch up. We talk a fair bit. Through messages, and we catch up whenever we can because we live sort of near each other. So it just made sense to just add you in. So thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
And the two Brads, how you going, boys?
Good, mate. A little nervous. It's been a while. I haven't been on live for months. I can't remember what to do or what to say.
You almost didn't make
it. I'm only half here, so don't be surprised if I'm here.
We're definitely a bit rusty on the old live. It's been a little while, but good to be here.
Yeah. Oh, well, I was just before we went live, I was saying, I've forgotten how to do this. But realistically, I forget how to do it every week.
It's just an excuse.
Yeah, so that doesn't really matter. Yeah, so we'll get stuck into it. We'll have a look at the chat first, obviously. Scotty, how you going? I guess there's nothing better on Sunday night. Might as well have this rebel in the background. Furlong, it has been a while. Good to be on the chill side today. I think Furlong's on the last two. So raising money for backpack. I'm suitably impressed. Dragon man thing and the human lifting a white tiger. I have a pink. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't help myself. I chucked Judda in the Spyro costume in the thumbnail. Western Picker. Actually, where's our names?
I think when you click.
Hey.
I think when you click on comments, they disappear now.
Oh, really? There we go. I'm Uncle Spyro. Leanne, how you going? Lozzie, how you going? Jazz. Cindy Brown, evening. Chris collects things and he also sells things. Evening all from Chris collects things underground mega store located within the Hunter Valley Cold Mines. Disgruntled Octopus. All hail King Octopus. All right, we'll get stuck into it. I wanted to ask you, Brad, about the giveaway that you've got on your channel at the moment. Do you want to tell us a bit about it?
We just thought, we're not broke enough. We might as well spend some more money and get some people on board and have a bit of a fun day. No, I guess we kind of started our YouTube channel a long time ago to create a community, I suppose, because when we first started, there was only sort of 3 or 4 people kind of doing YouTube, and there wasn't really like many Facebook groups or anything like that. And I guess along the way, we've kind of had that community mentality, like doing all this is your reselling life stuff back in the day in the suits and all that sort of stuff. We just couldn't really work out how we wanted to do that going forward. And then we found this channel, like we explained on the video, and they just do a lot of like random giveaways to like their community and like get their community involved in a lot of their videos. And yeah, we wanted to do something like that. So this is going to be our first big giveaway this Saturday coming. So it's going to be pretty interesting. I think there's a few people going to be filming and stuff. So could be an interesting day. We haven't given away what it is yet. So the people that are coming pretty much have no idea, which I mean, could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. But yeah, just something different and something that I haven't really seen done in this community as such. Obviously, there's like a lot of people doing giveaways and charity events and stuff like that, which is awesome. But we just want to do something a little bit different. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. A little bit nervous because obviously there's going to be a lot of people coming and trying to like say hello to everyone and keep everyone involved is going to be interesting. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's really cool what you're doing. Like, I think you said in your video you're going to put all your YouTube revenue towards this.
Yeah, I guess like YouTube's not a big revenue raiser for us, and it's never been like our goal to like make $1 million off YouTube or anything. Not that anyone is. But our eBay business is where we're getting our money, and everything else that we get on YouTube is just bonus. So we thought, well, let's just reinvest that money back into the community, the people that are essentially giving us that money by watching our videos. for the next 3 months. And if it works the way we would like it to, then we'll keep snowballing it. And who knows in the future what that could lead to. So we have quite a few plans. I don't know if they're all going to come off, but I mean, something different. And yeah, I just think it's going to be cool to actually meet a lot of people behind videos. Like we run into people at Savers and all that sort of stuff, but you know, you don't get a big group of resellers together very often. So yeah, it's just going to be cool to meet everyone and learn what they're doing and, you know, their journey. And every time you talk to someone, you learn something new. So yeah, it's going to be cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. And you and Jazz get to be celebrities for a day.
I don't think it's celebrities. I think we're gonna be like the least celebrities on the bus. But yeah, it's not really like, it's kind of odd when you're on this side of the camera and then, you know, people say hello to you, but you don't really know who they are because they watch the videos and they know who you are, but you don't really know who they are. So this is kind of our way of like getting to know our community better. So yeah.
It is weird. It is weird that people know you, and when they bump into you, like it's awesome. Like I've met a few nice people and stuff, but they talk to you like they've known you forever, and you just don't know them from a bar of soap. Yeah. So me and Christian were talking about it the other day. We were in Savers, and his missus was going through all the women's clothes, so we had nothing better to do. We were standing there chatting for like an hour. we were talking about like we quite often get people in Savers just staring at us. They just stare.
Yeah. You never know if they're like, if they have seen you somewhere or if they're just staring at you because you're flicking through the rack too quickly, or like it's kind of that awkward thing where you like smile at somebody. And it was even more awkward when there was like masks in the store because you couldn't even smile at them. It was kind of like you gave them this like weird little eyebrow twitch. And it was like you're either a creeper or a good person, or you couldn't work out which one it was.
Most people just think I'm a creeper anyway. Yeah, well, that's awesome. Sounds like it's going to be really good. Like, and you're going to take it. You said worldwide.
Well, that's the plan. But like I said, it doesn't mean it's going to come off, right? Like, I think we have some really good friends over in the US from the channel and through reselling connections. Jazzy's got family over in the US, so at some point we'd love to get over there and meet some new people and stuff. So if it goes the way we would like it to, then 100%, like we'd like to do it in America and do something in the UK and get over to Vic and Queensland and all those sorts of places, and you know, just meet people that we've known in the community but haven't actually got to meet, like Uncle Wayno. Like we still haven't met in person. So it's like, you know, unless you put yourself in these positions, it's never going to happen. So we're just like, you know what, we'll give it a crack. We're not making crazy money from YouTube, so it's not like we can hire any sort of, you know, plane or anything. But you know, if we like wait a couple of months and then do another event and then kind of just let it snowball and see what happens.
Is this like
don't feel guilty about not hanging out with Uncle Wayno, you know, in the flesh, because Wayno and I haven't met in person. We live a couple of kicks of the footy down the highway, and it just still hasn't happened. So we talk about it. We've been talking about it for 12 months.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's a 3-hour drive, so it's only 1.5 hours if we meet in the middle.
I think it's probably like one of the most undervalued thing in our community, right? Like spending time with other resellers. Like when you're in a job, like you've got people sitting next to you that are doing the same thing. You're like bouncing ideas off each other. In our community, we're like, you know, halfway across Australia. So like, you know, you only get to talk to Christian every like, you know, month or so, and you know, you get to see Brad every like, you know, 2 weeks. So it's just like you don't have that consistency of like chatting about what you're doing. And yeah, I just think it's just like super underrated. So I hope it goes well. It could be a disaster, but you know, you got to put yourself out there, I guess, and see how we go.
You might get stabbed by a random.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there'd be a few people in the community that would be rooting for that. So if it happens, someone better get it on camera at least.
A few more people have jumped in the chat, so we'll go back and have a quick hello. Anika, Percy, Retro Ranger, how you going? Did I miss anyone? No, I didn't. Maddie, how you going, mate? Is the one with glasses Mr. Beast?
Mr. Feast, did you say?
Recommerce Dave. Kelly, how you going? Brad's probably more nervous about keeping everyone under control.
That's a valid point. When people find out who's actually going to be there, it could be problems.
Yeah, there's a few crazies in Adelaide. Smiling isn't easy for the octopus, mostly because I don't want to.
Fair enough.
Uncle Wayno won't meet you in person unless you have a spiral suit. Unfortunately, Uncle Wayno doesn't even have a spiral suit anymore because he ripped the shit out of it trying to get the bastard on. That was the most embarrassing thing probably I've ever done. Putting that photo up because I got me huge guts. Like, it literally, like, you look at me side on, you'll notice you've never seen a picture of me side on in my videos, and that's because it looks like I got a fucking basketball under my shirt. So that photo was actually pretty embarrassing, but I just couldn't help myself because funny overall's embarrassing.
It gave me Jack Black vibes. That's what I thought when I saw it.
I get Jack Black all the time. Rally Roots and 2 Aussie Thrifters joining forces would be awesome. It would.
I'd love to see those guys over there. I'm sure if we went over, we'd try and catch up with them. But I mean, they're very busy people as well. So
Yeah, but you guys are good friends, and they got a lot of respect for you. I'm sure they'd want to catch up with you just as much. So, seen a couple of YouTube resellers in the local savers. Good to see what they're getting. This is Brendan. Brendan, I've met in Carrum Downs Savers a couple of times. And Christian, you met him as well, haven't you?
No, I haven't met you, Brendan. I think I've seen you around, but
okay.
I wasn't sure, so I didn't say anything in case it was not you.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good guy. He's got a channel, Life is Peachy. Go on, everyone go and give him a sub and have a look. He's the reason I probably don't find fuck all when I go to Carrum Downs Savers anymore. He goes there every day, bastard.
Between him and Christian, I mean, I don't know.
And then I go to Narry Warren and Christian's playing that one out.
Twice a week, so plenty of days for you, Wayno.
Yeah. On a better note, who really wants to go to South Australia?
Hey, stay out. I mean, there's plenty of op shops here for us. If you don't want to come here, that's fine by me.
He doesn't like op shops.
No, he said he hasn't been for years, didn't he? Rack Raiders. Elvis has been living in Adelaide the whole time.
Look, there's potential.
But no, yeah, they're both. He's a teacher as well, so they're both teachers. So they knock off work early and they go and clean them out. I don't meet any other resellers in my local office. There's probably heaps. You just don't know them. Flipper's Mega Store is looking impressive tonight.
See all his games there.
All your games behind.
I've tried to hide the mess down that part and that part and that part, and this was the kind of the cleanest corner, so that's where we had to go. I'm at the listing desk.
Did my honeymoon on South Australia. That's weird. It was good. So how you been going, Judda, since we last saw you? I don't think you were in your shed last time we saw you on here.
No. The last time I've been on a stream was the Four Horsemen one, which was months ago.
Yeah, that was ages ago.
That was at the old place, yeah, because when I got on here tonight, it came up with the Legless Horseman. So, yeah, that would have been about 3 months ago. So, no, cruising along good, mate. Pretty happy. Just plenty of space, as you can see. In my element now, just having fun, buying probably way too much shit. It's the problem now, I've got space, I'm filling it very fast. I'm more aggressive with the buying, trying to learn new things, but also, that's meant a lot less thrifting. You probably noticed by kind of the content that I'm putting out, I'm not really going up shopping much these days, just purely because I'm just buying just so much crap and it's got to be listed. So loving the space, but yeah, filling it very fast.
Yeah, it looks good. I've seen a bit of it through videos you've sent us and stuff. It looks awesome. Like, and you've actually got your tubs sorted on racks instead of just stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, no, it's all pretty set up now. So there's sort of a few sketchy areas that I need to skew better. You know, stuff that I haven't gone hard in the past, like shoes and that. I'm buying a lot more shoes now. I used to hate the idea of shoes, as I've always said, but now, you know, I'm playing around with stuff like that a bit more. It helps. I've got somebody that comes in on a Wednesday for 4 or 5 hours, and she does a bit of listing for me. So I palm off the stuff that I don't like to her, and she does that for me. So I'm buying a bit more of that, but it's not skewed real well. So, you know, I've got to look back into that, and before that gets out of control, sort those issues out. But yeah, the racking, you know, I dropped a couple of grand on racking, because at the old place I had one rack, which is a big steel one over there, and then the rest, yeah, I found it was more just space efficient to have 4 tubs piled on top of each other. And I'm real bad with change. I struggle with change, and when I first started, I started with 1 tub, and then I moved on to 2 tubs and 3 tubs. Before you know it, you got 20 of them, and they're on top of each other, and it's manageable. And then running that out of, you know, we had a couple of sheds at the old place, and after a while, they're piling on top, and it's like, well, I'm starting to run out of room. If I put a rack in here, I actually lose a lot of space for tubs. So I just rolled with it. But, you know, I lost so much time, because every time you pull a tub off, you've got to pull 3 off to get to 1. Then you put them back in a different place. They're not in order. And once I moved over, I realized I had 200 tubs of just clothing. Yeah. So you're pulling them out, like, it's just not time efficient at all. So best thing I ever did was buy those racks.
I have 2 tubs of clothing that are listed. They're the only things that are skewed in my store, and I still go to find one, and it's in the wrong fucking tub.
How many tubs of unlisted, Wayno?
It's ridiculous. I've got a photo of half of my clothes, and they're stacked up nearly to the roof. Wow. 2 piles stacked up to the roof, and then they've started again at the front of that.
It's just sell it on a Judda. He'll get rid of it for you.
Well, so what I'm doing is I'm actually gonna be doing similar to Judda on a lower scale. I've asked Adam. I've talked to Adam, my housemate. He's gonna move out because I just need space. I got a huge bungalow out the back here. I'm on 2 blocks here, and the bungalow is like I've got a massive lounge room. The bungalow is like 3 times the size of my lounge room. It's huge, but all Adam's stuff's in there, so I can't use it. And then he's got a room in the house as well, so he's going to move out, and I'm going to set that bungalow up for all my stock. So I'll basically have my house back, nice. And I'll have a lot more room. I'll be able to get someone in to come list all that shit for me. So I'll just be able to keep doing the stuff that I like doing, the DVDs, all that sort of stuff, and all the clothes and shoes and shit will get listed by someone else. So that's the plan. My plans never end up working out how I say they're going to. So we'll see what happens.
Even if you get like half the way there, right? Like that's half the way further than you are now. Like even if you're going to get half of what you got, you're better than nothing.
I mean, just having my house back would be nice. Yeah. Like I think it's a lot more motivating when things are neater and not, you know, you're not tripping over everything trying to find shit all the time.
It'd be like way more efficient too. Like that's something I've noticed with the warehouse. Like even though we were driven before we moved into the warehouse, like having a space set up properly to do things, like it just makes you so much more efficient as well. Like you're not tripping over stuff. You're not like putting stuff down to get something else. Like saying what Brad said with the tubs, like you have things set up properly, everything else works better.
Yeah, like at the moment, like it's too hard for me to sort shit out because like, I need to move shit like around, but there's nowhere to put it. Like to be able to sort it all, sort of thing. Like it's an absolute nightmare. I actually moved a ton. I cleaned my whole shed out just a few weeks ago now, and I moved a ton of stuff out there. So I've actually got a bit of room out there now. I can move some more stuff out. I just haven't had a chance, but. The shed's pretty old. It's watertight and everything, but it's not really good to set up anything in there. So it's more better for storage. But it would be much better once I get the bungalow and all that set up. So Adam's been awesome. Like I've had a lot of really fucking bad housemates at this house. Like Adam's my cousin, and like we've known each other since his cousin through marriage, so we've known each other since we were about 8 or 9 or something. He's the nicest bloke on the planet, and it's he's fine to live with. He's the only person I've lived in here that's been half decent. So the rest have been freaking junkies and shit. So, but yeah, it just makes sense. Like it was either that or I was going to start hiring a storage unit, and so there's not really any point in me doing that when I can have the space here. So yeah, that'll be good when I get that sorted out. Christian, how you going? The wife, how's the wife going? She's a fair way along now.
Yeah, we got a couple months to go till our lives change forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, going good. Things are going fast, but good. Everything's going okay. I was just telling Wayno when we met up how I might kind of pause or slow down with the reselling. I'm thinking about it. I don't know if I will, but because next year I'm going kind of part-time with my job. So, a lot of things to think about. But everything's okay. Everything's going all right.
Yeah, I think my response to that is you won't.
We'll see.
You love up shopping way too much.
I do, I get that itch. I know. I'm sure we all get it. I'm not going to stay away, but we'll see.
If you go part time next year and you got an extra couple of days,
it's a good days as well. Yeah, towards the middle end of the week,
Yeah,
they've restocked again.
Yeah, restock days, so it's always good.
and Sasha, it's Sasha, isn't it? Yeah. She's reselling as well, so she's probably going to be doing a bit more sort of full time with once she has the baby.
Yeah, she helps. Yeah, she helps on the side. She's good with the women's stuff, the stuff that I couldn't care less about. I know nothing about actually. So that's really good. I'll learn a lot from her finds, and she learns from me. So it works pretty well. But even balances out.
Yeah, I was in a up shop the other day and they had an expensive rack and like a women's clothes. It was half price clothes. So I picked some stuff up for Cal, just because I was super cheap. I went and had a look at these women's clothes and there's a $320 price tag on this blouse or whatever. A couple of you guys would have seen it in the chat. I sent it to Cara and I'm like, should I get this? It was $10. She's like, nah.
Women's stuff. Hey,
yeah.
Even if it is crazy retail price, like it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to resell. And then there's like the added thing of like, is it in style? Is it the right season? Is it the right cut? It's not like men's clothing where if you walk in and find a really cool jacket, it's probably going to sell. It's like, is it all these things that add up to a sale? It's like, it's crazy. I can't handle it.
Yeah, I mean, once we sort of had that little conversation in the group chat, I was just like, okay, I'm not going to bother ever again. Like, there's no way I'm ever going to get that. So I'll catch up with the chat quickly. Looks like there's a few. My shoe sales are good, and Queen Elizabeth 2 coins are on fire. I saw some $2 coins going for crazy prices a while ago. Coins will be coming out with the king on them. Yeah.
I think there was didn't they just press the first one and it's going to be like $25 for a 20-cent coin or $15 for a 20-cent coin or something?
Oh, really? I'll just buy a 20-cent coin for 20 cents. I fixed my back stock clothing problem by buying a double clothing rack when a shop closed, so everything is hanging. I got to start a SKU system, stop getting out of control. I still don't have a SKU system for any of my other stuff. So all my DVDs and shit, I just sort of remember where they are.
I don't know how you do it. Hey, we got to a point pretty early that was we started with we'll put it in this one tub, right? And then obviously you get to 5 tubs and you're like, was it in that tub or that tub? Then we got to Brad said about 20 and it was just mayhem. You'd be pulling out 5 boxes just to find one item. I don't know how people don't have probably a bit different for you, Wayno, because it's all DVDs and you can kind of see what's there. But when it's clothing or anything that goes in a tub, I don't know how people can do it.
it's just because I look through them every day, like when I'm picking my orders. So it's just muscle memory. I used to work in a video store, and if someone come in and said, "Have you got this movie?" Even if I'd never even picked that movie up before, I knew where it was. Like you didn't have to.
Better memory than me.
The staff were the same. Like it wasn't. It's not like a thing that I've got or anything. It's just muscle memory. You walking past it every day. You're putting videos back on the shelf every day. Like you see them, and eventually you just know where everything is.
Don't you get used to like what the spines look like as well? Like you can kind of just go, oh, that's the right color.
A lot of it for me is I know when I just remember when I listed it. Like it's really hard to explain, but it's just like I know that's this old, so that's going to be over here, or that's a bit of a newer one, so it's going to be up on the top shelf there, or the westerns are on the top shelf. But and I do have a couple of categories. Like I have the westerns up top shelf, of multi-packs on one shelf, like I have horror on one shelf. They're all like drama, action, all that comedy, everything, all that's mixed in.
You've just got mental skews going. You don't need the eBay skews.
Yeah.
You just Uncle Wayno skews.
But if they were in tubs, no way I could do it. I think I would. I think there's no way I could do it if they're in tubs. Because I wouldn't be looking at them all the time. So I live with my fiance. I know 10,000 items of clothing. And
wow, a lot of clothes.
Just sell her clothing. Abandoned coal mines are great for storage. Might have to get
a bit dusty. I don't know.
One day at a time, mate. It will get how you want it, Wayno.
That's it.
Christian, you have no idea how much your lives will change. Yes, commiserations, Christian. Commiserations. You thought Romeo was bad.
Yeah.
At least he's shitting outside.
Well, he's actually got into some of my stock recently. Ripped up a few things. He got my headphone, my $300 headphone, just like shredded it. So
brutal.
Got to be careful.
I had Nelson
like everything up on the roof. We can't get it.
Yeah. Crazy.
I had Nelson fixed on Wednesday, and it was yesterday or the day before. He's asleep on the couch. He's got the big fucking thing around his neck, so he can't get the stitches, which he can reach them anyway. And he was just asleep on his back, and I had to go down the street, and I felt sorry for him, so I was just like, oh, I'll let him sleep. I came back. He's chewed my mouse for my computer, completely birds. Yeah. He chewed my GoPro thing, which is like $60. And he chewed his own collar up, which was on the coffee table. So you're a fucking idiot. Never again am I leaving him inside by himself. Yeah. He's going to stay at mum and dad's in a bit when I'm going away, and they're
good luck to them.
They're going to hate it. Like I've already told him, you can't. All this shit that you've got sitting around here, you're going to have to move it. Like anything that's plastic, rubber, or wood. He wants to eat, which is pretty much everything. Like he tries to eat my coffee table. It gets really frustrating. I only ever talk about his him being a pest and shit, but he's actually a really good dog. Like he's these are just moments that he has, but I make him out like he's a complete arsehole when I'm on here or on Instagram. But he is a really good dog. But
he's a puppy, right? And he's that type of dog as well. Like they're pretty hectic.
Yeah, well, I was told by the owners, like, and American Bulldogs are actually really like sort of not sedate. I don't know what the word is, but they're really
compared to what, a lion or like what?
Well, I was told no, they just sleep all the time, which was totally true. He does just sleep a lot, like. He'll only be awake for 4 or 5 hours of the day, probably. But those 4 or 5 hours, he just wants to go to town on shit. So he'll grow out of it. It'll be good. Keep sending pics, Wayno. You might stumble on a banger. I don't know what that's referring to.
About the women's clothing, I think.
Oh, yeah. Howdy, you just got in the background while I do my... Toby. How you going? They do eventually grow up and leave home, thank God.
The dogs or like
Yeah. My daughter's 6 months old. It's the best thing ever, mate. Yeah, I mean, I was joking before. Kelly's got Reggie. She's, I don't know how old she is now. I absolutely love her. I hated kids before. I didn't hate kids, but I liked her kids. But I hated babies. I didn't want anything to do with, the ones that couldn't talk or anything. I absolutely love her. Kelly will send me a picture or a cute video of her, and I'll just message back, all right, I'm coming to visit. She lives an hour away. I'll just drive down there to visit. Like, I just can't help myself. She's amazing. I have a grandson with the same problem as Nelson.
choose on the table.
Who owns the couch? So this is getting really frustrating because, like, what I was talking about before with my huge basketball stomach, there's not a lot of room for both of us to sit on the couch together. So he's got this thing where he likes to sleep in between my back and the couch and the back of the couch, but he takes up like half the couch. So I spend, like, when I'm lying on the couch, I'll spend like 3 hours just lying right on the edge of the couch trying to balance. Babies that can talk are a rare delicacy. You got to cook them right, mate. You got to cook them right. All right, I got a few overrated or underrateds. I don't know where they are. The first, they're on my phone. The first one we got was from Disgruntled Octopus put in Plush. Obviously, he put that in for Christian. Overrated or underrated? I think we know. Your thoughts on it, Christian? Very underrated.
It depends, but yes, underrated. I think you have to learn. You got to learn what's good and what's not. There's more crap than good.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to learn it. But underrated, I think.
I think that's like everything, really, isn't it? Like,
I think Plush is like very specific as well. Like it's probably like even more specific than most things, apart from probably women's clothing. So as a category, it's probably overrated because I always see people looking through it. But as individual plushes, I think they're underrated because there's like specific ones like Christian shows all the time that are worth like really good money. But yeah, it's a tough category. You definitely have to know what you're doing.
I agree with Brad. I honestly reckon Plush is one of the most overrated categories based on the fact that everybody's going in, digging through, getting fucking $5-10 plush, thinking they've got something good, and then having it sit in a tub for fucking 3 years. And I'm guilty of that because I don't have an education around it as Chris does. So it's very overrated where people go to town because you're only paying a couple of bucks. It's not expensive. And I think people go a bit silly sometimes, and I've been very guilty of that in the past. But yeah, once you learn it, like I found some stuff from following Chris on Instagram, and also stuff that I've learned along the way. You go, oh, hang on, no, that's that's $30, that's $40 plus. Oh, that's all right. But early days, I know a lot of people that still do it. You go digging through that Plush, it's only $1, $15 comps on eBay, but then you're sitting with it for 3 years before it actually moves. Yeah, so I think it's one of the most overrated things you can find in the thrift shop, I reckon.
I think people forget the sell-through on Plush. Like that's the big thing, and that's probably the area that Christian's nailed. Is like he understands what value is, and he understands what sell-through is. Whereas a lot of people that go into Plush, they just like Brad said, oh, it's $1, it's 50 cents, doesn't matter. But all those dollars and 50 cents add up, and they take up space because they're big in most cases. So yeah, like I think what Christian does is underrated, but what most people do is overrated.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say if you want to, or maybe a tip, you got to focus on some characters as well. For example, like if you're looking at Pokemon, Pikachu is so overrated, but you got to look at more of the rarer Pokemon plush toys that people would look for more sought after. So the uncommon stuff. So that's where people go like, oh yeah, Pokemon Pikachu, I'll get it, but it's worth like $5. So you got to learn like different characters from different things, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking, like we talked about in Savers. months ago, Christian was telling me like what to look out for and stuff. I think I've picked up like maybe 2 Plush since then. Like, I think that goes back to what Judda's saying. Like, if you're just learning about it, just don't go crazy. Like, same with other categories. Shoes. I've got like 10 pairs of shoes I picked up in like the last 2 years. I probably could have picked up way more, but because I know I'm probably not going to list them in a hurry, I only get them if they're super cheap, and if I'm like sure that they're good shoes. Like, and I just gave some to Cal like a while ago because I was just never going to list them. So I know I only paid like $2 a pair, so it doesn't really matter. Shoes is something I eventually want to get into, but I'm not going to go gangbusters by buying every pair of Nikes I see. You know, like.
No, I think that's a really good comparison because shoes are exactly that. Like, there's like hundreds of pairs that are worth nothing. Graham.
Yeah.
I went last time, so it's your turn now. I think shoes, I don't know, a lot of people on YouTube will show shoes and kind of go, this is like going to do real well, but you kind of miss the ones that don't do so well, and the buy-in versus the sell-through and all that is really important on shoes. So there's just so many shoes out there that aren't worth a lot of money. It's like probably 1 in 100 that are. Like, you gotta learn. Like,
yeah, I think
every category is like that, right? Like,
I think people think I know there's some people that think I just like know everything about DVDs, but like I comp tons of DVDs like that I pick up, like, and tons of them I put back because they're not worth it. These look like at the garage sales today. I've just got them sitting here. I picked up 30 DVDs for $1. She had $2 each on them, and I asked like for $1 each if I bought heaps. Like, I really didn't know. Like, they're the ones that were no good. Like, so, like, you know what?
Yeah.
35% of them were no good.
Educated guess on that. Like, you kind of know what you're looking for, like the titles, the brands. Like, you know, you can kind of go, out of this stack of 50, I'm pretty confident that at least 30 of them are going to be really good, and then you've made your money. Like,
yeah, that's it. You can't just like, oh, I'm going to get into DVDs and then just start buying every bulk lot like you see. Most bulk lots on Marketplace these days are reseller seconds. They're all sloppy seconds, and it's really obvious too. If anyone wants to know an easy way to pick that out, is they will always have multiple copies of the same title. So there's one guy's got a post up at the moment in Melbourne, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just getting rid of a few of my spare DVDs that I don't watch anymore," or something like that. And he's literally got 5 copies of each title.
Like, why do you have 5 of each?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's ridiculous. Just picked up a Humphrey Bieber for 50 cents. Totally Brad adds up the issue with reselling in general. It's hard picking the cream only. Yep. Someone always has a crap on this show. I get lots of cream.
I almost had one just before, to be honest. I had to like kick my leg out, so I'm glad you went before I did.
Yeah, well, I went to kick my leg out to get rid of it before it came, but I couldn't. There's nowhere for my leg to go because there's shit everywhere. I don't play Plush anymore. I did pick up a 1992 Netty last week. Cool. All right, we'll go on to the next one. I found the rest of them. Fuck. Onesies, Aussie Tip Rat. He's not here tonight, Aussie Tip Rat, I don't think. Onesies, underrated or overrated?
Very overrated. Very overrated to wear, too hot. And I don't think you can sell them on eBay. Vero.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
If it's not an official onesie, because people list because there's like the Spyro suits, people would list as a onesie, but it's not actually the brand onesie. So it's essentially a fake. So people list it as a onesie, and they'll cop a Vero for that. So in spite of that, I say very overrated, and they're shit to wear. Overrated.
You gotta get on the hoodies. The hoodies are the
Oh, that's even worse. That's like a blanket.
No, mate, you gotta get around that.
It's currently 10 degrees out here, and I'm wearing a t-shirt. That's what I think about heat. So
that says more about your circulation system than.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. Electric blankets is the most overrated thing ever.
Oh,
no-go.
I can't stand electric blankets. And I'm totally with you, Judda. I'm wearing a t-shirt as well. We talked about it before. I don't actually own a jumper or a jacket. I just wear t-shirts. I'm rocking my Octo hoodie.
He's got a couple.
Anyone with action figure questions always ask Judda bloke. Nah, go and ask Scotty.
That's true, and then I go and ask Scotty.
Yeah.
Scotty is like insane with his knowledge, like honestly.
Yeah. JT, house, there you go.
JT.
2-time Australian champion. Mad Backs come live in Orange, New South Wales, and Woody becomes your tour. Judda lives in Ballarat. He's sitting there in a t-shirt. Ridiculous. I've been wearing my hoodie for the last couple of days at this time of year. All right, we'll move on. Redonating. This is playing shops. Redonating slow to move stock. Overrated or underrated?
Underrated, as in I think people hang on to stuff too long and it just like becomes a big issue, and then like you're like, crap, what am I going to do with this? Like I think that's something that we're trying to get better at. Like when we moved from our house to the warehouse, like we just culled like a heap of stock that was just sitting there, like old purchases that you never get back to and they fall off eBay or whatever. So I think it's underrated. I think it's good to do that.
Yeah, I'll say underrated as well. If you live near Savers, I think you're a bit more. It's a bit better because you get the voucher. But SA and big people will know, because like when I buy Plush, you know how they come in those bags and there's like 3 or 4 whatever for like $5. One of them is good. The rest are like crap $1 things. Not even worth it. Yeah, I just redonate them because they're still pretty good. I think redonating, it's especially to Savers. I do it all the time to get the 20%.
Yeah, we dropped like half a van load off there the other day because it was just like excess stuff that came in bulk lots that you don't need, and you've like made your money on everything else. So it's like, why take up that space when you can get rid of it?
Pretty much get something back. I don't even donate to Salvers or Vinnies. I'll go straight to Savers now.
Well, you're saving yourself on the back end. Like you're donating something that costs you probably like 20 cents and you're getting $20 off because you get 20% off 100. But it's
pretty much.
Yeah, I'm underrated. Same deal. You know, we all buy some shit here and there, and then you hang on to it too long, takes up space, takes up brain power. What's the point in having to sit in a tub if it's not going to sell when somebody else could essentially get it from an op shop and use it, for one? Another thing I found when we moved here, I did a big cull, so I dropped about 250, 300 items out of my store that just had been there for ages, and I just no longer wanted, or they weren't categories I was in anymore. And I found my sales increased without doing anything else. So I don't know if it was just coincidence, I don't know, but it almost felt like because I pushed a lot of dead shit out of the store, it's like if you go into an op shop, say, and there's just shit all over the racks and you can't be arsed looking through it all. It felt like to me, you know, it's almost as if that stuff got moved out the way and then people are looking at the other things that they wanted to buy. I don't know. That was just like the mental visual that I had of it. Whether it actually did have an effect, I don't know, but my sales increased without changing anything else. If anything, I was listing less because we were preparing for a move. And then I removed all these things and then the sales just went through the roof at that point in time. So I say very underrated.
That makes sense too, because like your impressions versus click-through, right? So if you're getting all these impressions and no one's actually clicking through to your items, then eBay is not pushing you as much because you're not getting that click-through and sell-through. So if you've got better quality items that are getting clicked on, then naturally your stuff's getting pushed up the rankings more. So it's like it's a double-edged thing, right? You're getting rid of crap that's not selling, and you're selling the stuff that is sitting in your store.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's a bit weird with DVDs. Like I use them as pawns, basically, like to push my eBay store in a different way. Like I just use them for ending and sell similar. So shitload of $9.95 DVDs. Like they're just ones that come in bulk lots that I don't go out looking for $9.95 DVDs, you know. But they're just ones that I happen to get in bulk lots or whatever, and I just sell similar to them, and there's always a few of them sell. Like,
Yeah, I think that's still relevant. Like, I don't think like you hit 90 days and you're like, I'm going to clear out my stock. But I think there are those bad buys that you get along the way that there'd be 5 of those DVDs that are never going to sell. Like, they're just not desirable.
So I have done in the past removed some, and I read because DVD prices change a lot. Like they change really quickly, and it's usually coming down in price. So a lot of them they're all listed for $9.95, and a lot of them you could probably buy for $4 or $5 on eBay now. So no one's ever going to buy them. But like I couldn't be bothered like going and recomping them all or whatever and figuring out which ones to take off. So I just keep using them as sort of end cell similars. I will go through maybe when I move all my stuff out to the bungalow. I'll probably go through and do a big cull.
Even like unlisted stuff, like we'll buy stuff like in bulk lots or whatever that you're like, oh, one day I'm going to list that, and you're not going to because it's either too hard, it's too weird, it's not what you want to be doing. So like we've kind of taken that approach now where it's like, if we're not going to list this in like a week or two of us getting it, and we know that we have more stock coming in, and that lot's paid for with whatever else we've listed for, and there's good value there, then like move that on some other way, like either auction or, Facebook Marketplace or other ways that will still get you some money, but it's not taking up space in your house, warehouse, shed, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I don't. I have regular cleanouts trying to make space, and I'll just pick shit up and be like, why did I buy this? And I donate it. Like, it's just like there's so much shit that you buy that you don't even understand why you bought it in the first place. Some shit that I find, I was just like, I do not remember ever seeing this before in my life.
I had some weird stuff come out of here when I cleaned it out the other day, like which slowly been like going room by room and just finding like boxes of stuff that got put away or under something, and you're like, what is in here? And you like find some new tags item that you put away, and you're like, why did I not list this? It's come from.
Twice a year I clean out the stock. If it does not sell in bundles, then gets offloaded down to Women's Refuge. And this, do you ever bundle DVDs or VHS? I usually list them, singly. The shit ones I usually flog off on Facebook. I am going to start bundling some of them. Like I've done it in the past. So like the Westerns that aren't worth listing together, I'll bundle them together. But sort of some of your everyday sort of movies like romantic comedies, it's not worth the effort really. But then there is some other stuff. Like I listed a bundle of MCU Blu-rays the other day. It sold like in 24 hours. Like, it was only 7 of them, and I got $35 for it. They weren't worth listing separately. Just the Avengers movies and stuff. So
yeah.
It's definitely worth doing. And VHS, I've never even thought about bundling like just titles together before. But you had some in your sold videos, Brad. And I think I commented, and I'm like, I throw that shit out. Like, you got for it.
I really didn't want to list them, but they were from Daniel's like storage unit, and we're trying to like make sure that we got as much value back into him out of his stuff that we could, because when we came into the business, we all like brought stuff to business, and the business owes us money. That's how the business works. And he had like this massive box of VHS, and he was kind of like putting them in bundles. Like, man, I was like, I really don't want to list these, but I'll do it. And yeah, we've sold a few, so it definitely surprised me at like something that's worth like $2-3 on its own. When you put in a stack of like 7 of similar ones, all of a sudden it's worth $35, and it's worth doing. It's like, why?
Yeah. Like I got thousands of tapes in the shed, and that's what I donate to Savers to get me 20% off every time I go. Let's take a big bag of videotapes. And it's like, well, I could be probably bundling them all together, but they do take up a lot of space at the same time. Yeah. So I think I've got to bother. But
I wouldn't recommend it as like a selling strategy. Just put it that way.
Yeah, I mean that I'm going to assume they're going to be slow movers anyway. So.
Yeah.
Hey, Cara, too, by the way. I saw you said hi before. I forgot to go back and click on it. Reselling is making me hate stuff, but I deal with stuff every day.
I deal with a lot of stuff every day.
I'm on a shopping ban. No more sourcing until I get my... We've all said that, Lozzie.
None of us believe it.
Yeah, I say it 10 times a week. I also have a death pile and some stuff to list. We have hit a little pause button on buyouts until we sort through our monster pile. I want to, yeah. Well, you've still got quite a
got like 10 years of listing in that warehouse to go.
Yeah. Bundling VHS and books works great for. Yeah, books is good for bundling. Thanks for the heads up, Uncle Stinky. I don't know what the heads up was, but okay.
I think he missed the starts. What he's saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, keep up with the socials, Barney. I go on a buying van every week till I walk in an op shop. Yeah. All right, we'll get on the next one. Listing acceptable DVDs as very good condition.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
It's not overrated or underrated. Just don't do it. Like it's pretty simple. There's even like category descriptions on eBay that tells you exactly what new, like new, very good, acceptable is. And if you're listing something that's from an op shop as new, other, or like new, you're probably lying, because like new says that it is in its original condition. There's no scratches. The paper and the cover don't have any marks, which you might find one out of every 100 DVDs that, or CDs or whatever it is that is that thing, but not very often. I just think it's like, it's deceitful. Like it's opening your store up to two things: returns and negatives, which you don't want. So I just don't understand why you do it.
Yeah, I mean, I have a ton of repeat buyers, and if I was trying to say scratched up DVDs were very good condition, I wouldn't have those repeat buyers.
No. Yeah. You're hurting yourself, right? Like,
yeah,
the only thing
essentially, it sounds like that's a strategy to try and get an initial sale to get over the top of the market, but it's just going to kick you up the ass, because eBay are really, really pushing for those repeat buys. That's what they want you to get, you know, and you're going to lose that. Yeah, like Brad said, you're copping negatives, you're copping returns. It's just going to backfire on your store. I can't understand why you'd do that. If anything, you'd probably want to make it sound less desirable, so when the customer actually receives the item, they're like, "Oh, this is pretty good," and then they're stoked with it. I don't know, and it makes no sense if that's a strategy.
It's just like, I don't know. It's definitely a strategy that people use, and it might work very short term, but long term, it'll, excuse the French, it'll fuck you. So just don't do it.
If you do that. Don't be a dummy. I'll give an example of what I do, and I've never had a problem with it. I list DVDs that I never list DVDs as like new ever. They're either brand new, very good, or good. I don't list acceptable. I just throw them out.
Yeah.
If they're expensive ones and they're acceptable, I put a big stack. One day I'm going to get one of those disc errors. So, but very good. A lot of mine going very good, and so if they got no marks on them at all, they're going very good.
Yeah.
If they have very light marks, like a few very light marks, they still go in very good. But I just changed the description to they have very light marks. Doesn't affect playback.
Yeah, very good and like new are two completely different things. Like, the whole different story.
So I've never had anyone
telling the description in the title either. I reckon that's, I don't know. I don't like that myself. I noticed a couple the other day that I'd sold, and it had a description of the condition in the title, and I've just rocked a sell similar on someone else's listing for that to be in there. I think that's bad too. I think that, I don't know, it could be the same deal when people are writing good condition in the title, and then if they get it and that's not really good condition, that's going to backfire on you as well, especially because I see it quite often when I'm sort of comping prices. Might find a game that's on there and it says in the title good condition, and then they've listed in the specifics acceptable, so then that's confusing, which will turn people away as well. I reckon that's also overrated.
It's like Amazon, right? If you do that on Amazon, you're gone. Like, they're very specific with how you list things. Like they give you descriptions of what it should be, and if you get too many people saying that this didn't match that description, they'll just take you off the platform. Like, see you later. I know we're on eBay, but it's the same thing. You get enough iron ads or enough negatives, like it's going to impact your store. Never deliver.
This is why I hate selling vinyl. I flogged all my vinyl off to a mate who's a reseller in Trelvin. I needed the space, and I was never going to get around to it because the collectors can be so finicky. I know you sell a lot of vinyl, Judda, but I just wasn't interested in going through cleaning them and sort of describing them all, like the sleeve.
Yeah, they are hard.
That's a typical one where I actually, what Steph said there, I think is perfect. Better to under promise, over deliver. I do under promise on vinyl because I know how picky they can be. I use all 12 photos, and it's just, even using the 12 photos, it's so hard to actually show the condition of a record in your photos, just trying to get the angle right. As you know, like if you're doing a DVD, like the bottom of the disc, you can't really get all the scratches well, if there is any. So it's, I don't know, with the vinyl, I find it really hard. I do under promise, and then you get the occasional question about it. The questions I get, they say that you've actually said this is acceptable, and I've explained in the description, but they said it actually looks quite good, and then I'll be like, honestly, it sounds well, there's no crackling, but I'm just sort of being cautious that people are aware. The sleeve might have a bit of damage on it, or there's some light marks on the record itself. It's that's a very tough one, that category. And some of the collectors they can be picky, but I've found using that by saying they're not as good as they actually are, it actually seems to work, because collectors know when they look at the photo what they're sort of after. That's what I've found.
They even get to the point, like we've had a couple like real decent records, and the collectors have asked us to take them out of the actual casing and put them on top, and then like put protection around that, because they don't want the seams of the actual outer, like the front cover, to split in shipping, because they're worried that it's going to like vibrate and it will split the edges of the vinyl record cover. So that they're a very unique type collector, much like pop vinyls, where like they're like very specific about what they want, and if you don't do it right, they like get funny. Like we had one that asked us to do that, and we're like, why would you want us to do that? Like that's going to potentially scratch the record. And they're like, oh no, I'm worried about the cover. And I was like, wow, like that's crazy.
So I saw a comment up here. I'm still trying to catch up. Even if like new, at least as DVDs as good condition, I would just list them as very good. I've never ever had a problem with it. I list, like I said, some that have very, very light sort of surface marks on it. Never had a problem.
I don't really even understand how like a DVD can be potentially like new. Like it's either brand new or it's being used. Like there's not really much in the realm of DVDs that can be like new. Like it doesn't really make sense.
I guess it was basically pulled out of the seal. And it hasn't got a single.
And how would you know that?
On it. I suppose it's got to be absolute mint to be looking at it.
It's like the wrappers come off. Like that's what it means.
Yeah.
But how you're never going to know that? Like,
no, that's it.
Yeah, this records, it really depends on the original. I got a lady messaged me the other day. She bought some movies off me, and she's just like, she left me positive feedback and stuff. She's like, I just thought I'd let you know these two movies were really bad quality. So they were filmed in the 20s. Like,
you're like, sorry, I didn't film myself. I will pass that on to the producer.
So that's a pretty good setup. Handball to him, and we split the profits. Yeah, either new or good. Like new is like open, never.
Like understand what it means, but I just don't understand how you're going to come across that very often in a DVD category or a game category.
All right, this is the last one. It's going to be a quick one because I don't think anyone's going to know who he is. This is from Charla. I don't know if people remember, but early on I had Charla come over and help me do some she was going to come in once a week and help me do my clothing and stuff. But she came once, and then she ended up getting a job, so she couldn't come anymore. She's awesome. She paints clothes and sells them on Depop, and she's got an Instagram account, Hairspray Queen, and the second E in Queen is a 3. So if anyone wants to have a look, go and have a look. She's pretty cool. She's into old metal, so I don't know if any of you guys are gonna know who this guy is. Not selling related, but Tom Kiefer is underrated. You like a bit of old school metal, Christian?
I do a bit.
Tom Kiefer he's the singer from Cinderella.
No, I don't know. I don't.
No.
I thought that.
I think the band Cinderella are underrated. We actually had we used a couple of their songs in our wedding.
Oh, really?
Going back however long ago that was. Yeah, I didn't know his name, but I do love the band Cinderella because I love hair metal. That's probably one of my favorite categories of music, favorite genres. But the band Cinderella, super underrated. But yeah, I didn't know his name.
I don't know them that well. I never got into them really, but aren't they more like soft sort of soft?
Yeah, it's ballad, like ballad.
Yeah.
It's from that hair era, but
Yeah.
like a lot of ballads and shit. Awesome voice.
Mike Bromley's piped up as soon as Cinderella's been mentioned. He's awesome. Cinderella, my first record I ever bought. Cool. Daniel Sun, how you going? Hope you're all well. Definitely late this month. I was hard rubbish picking and found some cool things again for once. Are you still riding your bike home with all that shit in your hand?
Well, you got a car now.
That's dedication. I couldn't do that. I just listed sealed VHS as like new, as I would have had to take it out of the seal to get the UPS number. With the UPC number, just write in does not apply, and you don't have to put it in. So yeah, you won't have to do that again. Yes, saving. Yeah, nice. That's good hustle.
A big romper room on the back for the old reselling.
Yeah. All right, so that's it for overrated or underrated. We're already like over an hour. I got the quiz. We'll go through it real quickly. There's going to be a delay because we had to turn the change the settings back. So I'm just trying to get the page up. All right, this is the quiz I did last time we had a show, and we never did it because we talked too much. So some of these questions are not, they're relevant to a few weeks ago. What year was Queen Elizabeth II born?
Who cares?
1922.
Nah, 20, 25, 24, 25. She's like 98, wasn't she?
No idea. She was old as fuck. I know that.
004.
What?
1882. yeah, Bowden talks too much. 1918. People are really slow at Googling. Oh, I forgot there's a delay. There's like a 20-second delay with the chat. I have to look. What's the answer? 26. That's it. The Western figure got it. 26.
We're in the right realm.
She was 96 or whatever.
Pretty good innings.
All right, that was a shit question. Question number 2. Judda was right, by the way. Judda had the correct answer. Who cares?
Yeah.
Question number 2. What is Johnny Depp afraid of?
His ex-wife.
Well, it'll be interesting once you find out the answer.
I don't know.
Still smoking hot, Johnny Depp. This is like it's just a complete guess, really. I mean, unless people want to Google his bangles.
I think he's afraid. I think he's afraid of all the rum being missing. Actually, that's what I think.
Yeah.
Depends what movie you're talking about. Like if it's Edward Scissorhands, it's probably going for a piss. I'd say.
Yeah. Glass bottle. Steph got it. She's Googled it.
Damn.
Clown.
Thanks.
Yeah, so that was going to be my joke. Clowns. So it's interesting that he married Amber Heard if he's scared of clowns. Drugs, sailing.
Teddy bear.
All right. Which 80s band had a hit with I Ran So Far Away? These questions are going to lead somewhere, so this is a hard one.
I can hear the song in my head, but I have no idea who sang it.
Don't know.
Yeah, the octopus has got it straight away. Flock of seagulls. Everyone.
Can we get Groggy's patch on right now live to sing that, please?
Let's do it.
I don't want to hear talking yourself up and then not going through with it. Can you
Are you
send
going
me
to
the
come
link?
on? Are you going to? I can send you the link, Leanne, if you want to come on and sing. I never ran so far away. I ran. I have to find it.
She's going quiet now.
Not a chance.
All talk.
All right.
Get your op shop lady around to sing it, Flipper.
Yeah, I haven't really been back to that op shop. They don't really like me there anymore. I'm not really welcome there. They bump the prices up when I buy stuff, I've found. So I don't know if it's to do with that or what. But anyway, I don't get it.
I haven't done my hair all.
Even better.
All right, next question. Which 90s martial arts action star was in Under Siege?
Martial arts, Steven Seagal.
Yeah, Steven Seagal.
Ooh, never would have got that.
If it's not horror or comedy, I haven't seen it.
The chat haven't even got through the delay yet. It's not Bruce Lee. It is Seagal.
There you go. See what you did there.
All right, this next one.
There's a bit of a theme going here.
Yes.
Bloody seagulls.
What Finnish country band plays bluegrass versions of well-known hard rock and metal songs?
The
Seagull.
seagull. What was the question?
What Finnish country band plays bluegrass versions of well-known hard rock and metal songs?
I have no idea.
Why am I yelling answers at my phone?
It's a long name.
It's
Are they
not
like a
Hammer.
YouTube band?
Hey?
Are they like a YouTube band?
No,
Oh,
you guys were close before. The Ned Flair. I don't know what's going to get it. I mean, Christian said it before.
This is a great quiz, and no one's going to get it. No one's
Yeah.
going to get it.
Christian said it before when he answered the last question.
Steven Seagal. What?
They're called the Steven Seagals.
Oh, wow.
fucking hell.
Right. Okay.
Called Steve and Seagals. All right. Next question. I told you when we did the first quiz that my quizzes are going to be fucked up.
Yeah, this is definitely on that scale, I can tell you.
All right, next question. I put some memes in my stories a couple of weeks ago. So this quiz was supposed to be a couple of weeks ago. I put some memes in my stories a couple of weeks ago. One was of some birds. What type of birds were they?
Seagulls.
Chicken.
Pelicans. I don't know.
Jeez, I need a drink.
Budgie.
It's shit waiting for the chat to catch up. All right, well, it's not seagulls. It's geese. The answer is geese. Just wanted to fuck with everyone.
Bin chickens.
Oh, this is a real question. See, it was grand final. It was a week before grand final when I was going to do this. Who is the only team to win the grand final and the wooden spoon in the same year?
Adelaide Crows.
They didn't exist.
Essendon.
You're a goose. I
But
quit.
that could be true though, because the Adelaide Crows women's team won the grand final and we won the wooden spoon.
Well, yeah. This is in the VFL.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to the war. I'm going with Essendon.
Yeah, the Storm.
Seagulls.
The Bears. It's not the Bears. They weren't around. The Bears came in
The Swans.
80s.
It'd be
Nah.
South Melbourne back then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they were around then either, were they? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's not the Bombers. All right, I'll just give the answer. That's true. Storm won and then got disqualified. Got them taken off. It is Fitzroy. There was only 4 teams. They finished on the bottom of the ladder, and there was a top 4. And I think Judda was on the money there with the whole war thing. Yeah, it was in the early 1900s. I think it was World War I or something. So, they won
That's why
the.
some of these teams like Carlton and Essendon froth on all their premierships and shit. There was only 4 teams in it when they were winning all these premierships, but they haven't been relevant since.
Yeah. That's just chucked out a random player name.
It's like one of the 4 players that she knows, Nick Natanui.
Probably from Rob abusing him all the time.
So that feeling looks like he's running just for. All right, next question. We're getting close to the end here, so. Oh, this is a real question as well. I had to Google this because, I don't know
What hope do we have then?
I don't know if it's an easy question or a hard. I have no idea if this is super easy or hard or what. What is the strongest Pokemon?
Charizard.
Mewtwo.
Maybe it's a hard question.
Gyarados?
Machamp.
What do you mean by strongest?
Strongest, like what type of strong?
Like power
I don't
or
know.
attack?
like
Or
legendary ones or what?
can bench press the most or like?
Don't shoot the messenger.
Which strong we need him?
I like Chris's.
What is the strongest Pokemon?
Can I go and wake me kid up and ask him?
Well, no one's getting it, so I'll just give the answer. I don't even know how to say it. Arceus?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, you're pretty close. Arceus. Yeah.
Google says Arceus.
Sure.
It's a legendary Pokemon. Yeah. Okay. Isn't he like the creator of all Pokemon? Like the very beginning? Or am I
I don't know.
I only know the first bunch.
Someone confirm in the chat, please. Am I wrong?
Seagull one.
Is it a bird?
Oh, that's a Pokemon.
Like a dragon bird or something.
All right, next question. What was Walt Disney afraid of?
Making good movies.
It's pretty easy if you think about it.
Probably children. Death?
Mice.
Yeah, you got it. Mice.
Really?
Mickey Mouse.
Right. Yeah.
Bowden got in the chat. Failure. I can say for sure I'm definitely not afraid of failure. All right, last one. Which pop entertainer fell through the stage a couple of weeks ago?
Post Malone.
Yeah.
Bianca's.
Yeah, I was just giving her a shit about that. That's why I know that one.
Yeah, she fucking loves him. Yeah. I can't stand him. All right, that's the quiz.
I got none.
I don't think anyone really won except for me because I got the fuck with
I don't
everyone.
even know if you won, to be honest.
I got the Walt Disney one. I got the Walt Disney one, right?
He did. So they keep stray cats in Disneyland to keep mice away. flock of seagulls. All right, we'll wrap up. Good to be back. Thanks, boys, for jumping on.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, mate.
We might be here next Sunday. I got a birthday dinner to go to, so maybe on Tuesday, maybe the following Tuesday. I just want to say maybe. It gets a bit hard to do them during the week because I get so freaking busy. But busy laying on the couch. But yeah, I might try and do one on the Tuesday. I want to keep trying to do it every week. If we can't do it on the Sunday, at least try and do it on the Tuesday. Mondays are pretty busy for me, so the Tuesday sort of works a bit better. Usually out Wednesdays as well. So we'll see if we can make that happen. So yeah, thanks everyone. Thank you guys for coming on. Thanks everyone for watching. We will see you soon. Bye.
See you on the next one.
Bye.
Gonna be